Good day, everyone. Philippines right now is facing an issue which is secession, where our former president, Mr. Rodrigo Duterte, was declared on his plan about the separation of Mindanao from the rest of the Philippines. But the question is, what happened if the Mindanao was officially separated in the Philippines? Can you imagine? Well, me and my group will gather some information just for us to have an opinion or to learn something from this issue. Former President Rodrigo Duterte declared his plan on the separation of Mindanao from the rest of the Philippines. And in press conference, Duterte says there is already a regrouping of local political forces that was starting movement in campaigning of separate and independent Mindanao. He clarifies that the movement is not a rebellion nor would be a bloody movement but will instead follow the processes established by the United Nations wherein signatures are grant-gathered and should be verified under to the presence of other witnesses to signify the people's desire for the separation from the country.
What if Mindanao officially separates from the Philippines right now? Can you imagine?
The potential advantages of Mindanao secessions from the Philippines include greater autonomy, which means Mindanao could have more control over its own affairs, allowing for tailored policies and decision-making that better address the needs and aspirations of its diverse population.
Second, cultural preservation. With increased autonomy, Mindanao could better preserve and promote its rich cultural heritage, language, and traditions, fostering a stronger sense of identity and belonging among its people.
The potential advantages of Mindanao's secession from the Philippines includes economic development. Some proponents agree that independence could spur economic development in Mindanao by allowing more targeted investment, infrastructure development, and trade agreements tailored to the region's specific needs and priorities.
The next advantages is resource management. As we all know, Mindanao is rich in natural resources such as mineral, forest, and agricultural land. With a greater autonomy, the region could have more control over the management and utilization of these resources for the benefits of its people.
Conflict resolution. Secession could potentially address long-standing grievances and conflicts, particularly those related to historical injustice and unequal treatment, leading to greater stability and harmony within the region.
Political representation. Secession could lead to a better political representation for the people of Mindanao, ensuring that their voices are heard and their interests are represented at the national and international levels.
And that's all the advantages. And now, let's proceed to the potential disadvantages of Mindanao secession. First, let's talk about the territorial integrity. Territorial integrity, secession could undermine the territorial integrity of the Philippines, leading to fragmentation and potential instability within the country's border.
Some disadvantages includes resource allocation. The division of resources and assets between Mindanao and the Philippines could lead to disputes over land, natural resources, and infrastructure, further worsen tensions and conflicts. We are divided by today's issue about the separation of Mindanao from our capital, which is Luzon. As I have observed, this issue occurred when the House Speaker Martin Romualdez pushed the People's Initiative, which have been opposed by the Dutertes, claiming that the House Speaker wanted to extend the power of First Family by doing so. For me, the efforts of our heroes fighting for the independence of our country from the Spaniards will be in vain, because they believe that we are stronger as one nation. We cannot let this politician play us like a poker chips. The only people that would suffer by these decisions of the Malacanang Palace would be us, the poor people. So, if you ask me about my opinion about this issue, I will disagree.
Next is security concern. Establishing a new independent state in Mindanao could raise security concern, including border disputes, defense challenges, and other potential for internal conflicts or secessionist movement in other regions.
National unity. The secession of Mindanao could weaken the sense of national unity and identity among Filipinos, potentially exacerbating divisions and ethnic tensions within the country. An extremely hypothetical and complicated possibility is the division of the Philippines into distinct entities with Mindanao, becoming an independent state, although there have been groups calling for Mindanao to have more autonomy or independence. Total secession from the Philippines is not a concept that is universally accepted or embraced. Many legal, political, economic, and social obstacles will need to be overcome in order to implement such a split, including those pertaining to international recognition, resource distribution, governance, and demarcation of boundaries. As of right now, Mindanao is an essential part of the Philippines, which is still one cohesive nation.
International relations. Secession could affect the Philippines' standing in the international community, potentially leading to changes in diplomatic relations, trade arrangement, and foreign aid agreement.
The separation of Mindanao and the Philippine issues has been circulating around the country as well as outside the country. Many Filipinos had spoken about their opinions about the advantages and disadvantages of this separation, and some of it lead to arguments and debates according to their own perspective and opinions. And in my own opinion about these issues, the secession of Mindanao from the Philippines would help resolve some of the long-standing conflicts and issues in the area. Increased independence or autonomy could enable local communities to better manage resources, support local preservation, and attend to their own needs and goals. But making such a change would also present a few of challenges. It might deepen already existing division within the nation, casting doubt on the integrity of the country's borders and unity, and possibly bring out new political and economic concerns. Separation would require a strong legal framework, procedures for ensuring the right of needs of everyone involved, and careful negotiation, commitment to justice, peace, and well-being of those affected should ultimately serve as the basis for any decision made on the separation of Mindanao from the Philippines. It requires a comprehensive plan that addresses the underlying causes of violence, encourages fair governance, and promotes peace amongst the various communities.
Here are some people who share their opinions about the separations of Mindanao from the Philippines.
Well, for me, the secession of Mindanao from the Philippines needs further study. With all due respect to the former president, I think right now na dapat itong deeper. And we must know the advantage or disadvantages if magkatotoo ito. And we must know the process and what are the benefits of Mindanaoan and ano yung maaaring mangyari kapag bumukod tayo sa Pilipinas. Kasi for me, napapansin ko na Mindanao had been experiencing minimal or shall we say minimum attention from the national government. Kaya siguro maraming advocates na nagsusulong na matuloy itong secession na ito.
Do you agree with the separations of Mindanao from the Philippines?
Ako sa akong kabahin dili ko mosugot kay si Andres Bonifacio nagpakayab sa iyang bandilang Pilipino. Siya ang nasudlong bayani nga nalipod sa Pilipinas. Dili ko mosugot ka idlahi ang Mindanao sa Pilipinas. Tungod kay sa Pilipinas dili na to makita ang mga manindot nga mga butang dinhi sa Pilipinas.
O sa po kung kabahin, dili ko kumusugot kay nganong ipaglain man ang Pilipinas ug ang Mindanao nga magkahiusan naman gid unta na sila kay nganong ibalhin man nga daan naman na nag-uban.
And that would be all. Thank you for watching.